Welcome to day 54 of our school year. Okay, let's get down our beginning fraction. Okay, our denominator is 180 because that's the total amount of school days, and we are on day 54. So first we want to think, is our numerator prime or composite? Well, 54 is even, and the only even number that's prime is 2, so it has to be composite. It automatically has at least 3 factors because 2 is a factor since it's even. So that means we have to do the prime factorization for both our denominator and our numerator. And just a reminder, our first 5 prime that we'll use 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. All right, 180, that's even, so I know that 2 is a factor. I can get 2 groups of 9 out of 18, and then my placeholder. Let's see. It's even again, so I can divide by 2. I can't cut 9 in half exactly, but I could get half of 8, which is 4, and then I have half of 10, which is 5. That ends in a 5, so I know 5 is a factor. 5 times 9. And then 9, I can divide by 3. I get 3. When I get to a prime number, I'm done. So here, I'm going to divide by 2. Since it's even, I can get 2 groups of 2 out of 50, and I'm left with 14. That's 7. 2 plus 7 is 9. 9's a multiple of 3, so 3 works. 3 times 9, 3 times 3. Get to a prime number, we're done. Let's go ahead and write our prime factorization. 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. That's our denominator. We always go from least to greatest. And then here we have 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. Well, it looks like we have 2 times 3 times 3 as our greatest common factor. And we're left with the 3 in the numerator and 2 times 5 in the denominator, so that would be 10, 3/10. Our greatest common factor, 2 times 3 is 6 times 3 is 18. So that means we're going to make groups of 18. Okay, I know 2 groups of 9 make 18, so that's a strategy I might use to make my groups. Make sure your groups have 18 in each. They do not have to look like mine, and we need to keep the shaded separated from the unshaded. So 4 plus 10 is 14, plus 5 plus 4 is 18. Yeah. Okay. 6 plus 10 plus 2, and then 10 plus 8. And 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I have my groups of 18. Let's see how many total groups we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 total groups. I have 1, 2, 3 shaded in. Well, 3/10. 10 is one of those that I could get per cent. Remember, the word cent means 100. Per is through or thorough. Per 100. So I can make this a 100 in the denominator. I can get that equivalent fraction with a 100 in the denominator by multiplying by 10. And 3 times 10 is 30. So as a decimal, I have 30 hundredths. I also have 3 tenths. But this is 30 per 100, so 30% of the school year complete today. We have 70% left. Okay, let's go ahead and, now that we've done our division with our model, let's divide using our algorithm. When we can do the problem in 2 different ways and get the same solution, we can be pretty confident in our answer. Okay, so I'm going to draw my area model. So 180 and 54. So 10 times 18. Well, that's just going to move everything over a place. We have a placeholder. Number's the same, zero's the gain. So that means my quotient here is just 10. Here I don't know my 18s necessarily, so I'm just going to do one group right now. 1 times 18, I know that. More on the floor, go next door, regroup 10 more. 14 take away 8 is 6. 4 take away 1 is 3. Okay, so I need to bring that 36 up because I definitely can take another group out. I'm going to do one group of 18. Division, remember, is repeated subtraction. So we're taking out equal groups here. More on the floor, go next door, regroup 10 more. 16 take away 8 is 8. 2 take away 1 is 1. I'm not done yet, so I need to bring that up here. 1 times 18 is 18. Now number's the same, zero's the gain. Add these together, 1 plus 1 plus 1, I get 3. Okay, we still need to check by using our inverse operation. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Divisor times quotient plus remainder. Since my remainder for both is 0, and the identity property of addition says when you add 0, it stays the same, I don't need to add the 0. Okay, this placeholder just moves it over a place. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 1 is 1. Each place is 10 times greater, so when we multiply by 10, it moves our 1s to the 10s and our 10s to the hundreds. 3 times 8 is 24, so 2 10s, 4 1s. 3 groups of 10 is 3 10s plus 2 more 10s is 5 10s, or 50. 54 matches our dividend, check. 180 matches our dividend, check. So our numerator is definitely 3, and our denominator is definitely 10. All right, now let's go ahead and fill in our data collection page. Trimester 1, week 12. Today is 10/24/19. And our fraction for today is, got to write it small, 3/10, which is equivalent to 3/10, which is equivalent to 30 hundredths, which is equivalent to 30%. We have completed 30% of the school year. We have 70% to go. Okay, let's go ahead and get down our number line. We did groups of 18. Okay, so we have 1/10, then 2/10. Both of those are even, both are divisible by 2, so the equivalent fraction in lowest terms is 1/5 here. But it's also equivalent to 3/15, 6/30, 9/45, 12/60, 18/90, all the way up. These are all equivalent fractions. Okay, and then today, 3/10, that is our simplest form. There's no lines underneath. But we do have an equivalent fraction in the 9s. 9's a common factor. 6 is a common factor. 3 is a common factor. 2 is a common factor, but 18 was the greatest common factor. So all these have equivalent fractions. Okay. But this is our 1 in lowest terms. All right, go ahead and put your number line away. Erase your worksheet, and thank you for joining me.